Welcome back. This time we're talking about The Foreigner, starring Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. The film is directed by Martin Campbell, who gave us Goldeneye and Casino Royale, and is based on the novel by Stephen Leather. Jackie Chan plays a Chinese immigrant living in London, whose daughter is killed in the film's opening moments in a bombing by a new offshoot of the IRA. But Jackie Chan is not simply a restaurateur. He has a history that has given him a certain set of skills, as we like to say with these kind of movies, and he sets off to get revenge against those who took his daughter's life. Now let me say up front, this is an entertaining action movie. A lot of Western directors don't seem to really know how to best utilize Jackie Chan's considerable skills. And in this film, we get to see those skills on display. But we can also say that this is sort of an old man Jackie, in that Jackie Chan, for the first time I can remember, looks his age in this movie, which was a little disconcerting at times, I will say. But they really play it up and to great effect, because he is not that 20-something-year-old who can just go in and take out a whole room. He's going to get hit a few times along the way. And it was a different side of Jackie Chan, and one that I actually really enjoyed on how they portrayed it in this film. Of course, Campbell has his history with the Bond franchise, so he knows how to set up solid action sequences. Casino Royale remains one of my favorite all-time Bond films. And there's some good action to be found here, although on a much smaller scale. Since I've already mentioned Jackie Chan, let me also say I really, really enjoyed his acting in this film as well. He is a man who has just lost his daughter, and unfortunately that is only the latest in a series of tragedies that he's had to deal with. I really liked his performance in this movie. I also liked Pierce Brosnan playing this Irish diplomat type character who is trying to bridge the gap between London and upset kind of IRA elements that are still around. But that does bring me to some of my concerns about that film. This is a story about the IRA. Now obviously I think most likely, I can't say for sure, but I would guess that in Ireland and in England the IRA is not a subject that has been forgotten. Here in the States, I remember it from when I was in school and heard about bombings and killings and other things that were going on in Northern Ireland. But I would imagine your late teens, early 20s audience that this is kind of geared toward is not going to have that internal knowledge of what the IRA situation was about. And there's not a lot of hand-holding in this film. I'm not going to complain that they didn't have hand-holding, but I think some people are going to be like, okay, what's going on here? Because this film is really based around how these certain people are reacting years and years later to what happened back then. And they even mention a number of times in the movie how these younger people don't know what was really going on back then. So that was a concern. I do have one other concern story-wise that I really don't want to get into right now because it could be potentially a spoiler. I'll have a little coda at the end where I'll dive into that a little bit. I will make sure not to be full spoilers, but it borders on the territory more than I feel comfortable in talking about it right here in the middle of the video. But overall, this was a film I enjoyed. It's a serious action movie. You're going to feel emotions. You're being asked to feel emotions. The characters are feeling emotions. When people die, it's harsh, and it's not always the people who deserve it. But it's a film that I actually really enjoyed. I had a lot of fun with, and I think if you're going in for that sort of old man Jackie movie, I think it's going to deliver what you're looking for. As long as you know just a little bit about the IRA situation. So with that, if you don't know anything else about this film, I recommend just stopping now. And we'll call it a day. So that's your warning. There will be some minor spoilers in what I say next. So be warned. Okay, if you're still here, I'm going to guess that you're not as concerned about minor spoilers as others. My only other real issue with the story is the fact that, with a few exceptions, if Jackie Chan wasn't, or his character was not in this movie, I think it still pretty well would have ended very similarly to how it does with his involvement. It could be one of those films that if the hero had never shown up, it would have ended the same way anyway. You could argue that certain things would happen differently, and I accept that, but I think the end result would have ultimately been the same. So that's my only other concern. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you. If you've seen this, what did you think about it? And what did you think of my concerns as far as what I've just mentioned? As always, you can subscribe to my channel, check out some of my other reviews, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies.